Good morning everyone. Today we're going to have a look at 7.6 points of intersections of graphs. This is the first part of the paragraph of 7.6 about applications. So first we're going to have a look at the points of intersection of graphs, and afterwards I'm going to give you a bit of a summary of how you can do this with different types of graphs. Alright, so a question could be: calculate the coordinates of the points of intersection of the graphs y equals x squared plus 3 and y equals x plus 5. Alright, so first step is you will always get a question. And they will tell you in this question that this is an intersection point. So the intersection point is where two graphs hit each other. So I will call this A. And that is an intersection point as well. And I will call this intersection point point B. Alright, so the first step is that we see that those graphs are equal to each other. So that means that we're going to make an equation. And the equation is x squared plus 3 equals x plus 5. And that is because this was the parabola. And that is the linear graph. Alright, now we need to solve the equation. So we want to have all letters and all numbers to the left. So I'm going to subtract, and I will use a different color, minus x over here because I want it to be 0. And what I do on the right side, I need to do on the left side as well. So I need to do minus x over here as well. Of course, there's a plus 0x behind this. So if I do plus 0x minus x, then it becomes minus x. So we will have x squared plus 3 minus x equals 5. I am going to do the same with the 5. So minus 5 minus 5. 3 minus 5 equals minus 2. So my equation will be x squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. Alright, so now I'm going to have a look. Do I need to use the product sum method or do I need to use a common factor? So I see 3 terms and everything's already simplified, so I need to use the product sum method. That means that I'm going to search for two numbers, and when I'm going to multiply them, it becomes minus 2. And when I'm going to add them, it becomes minus 1. Because there is a invisible 1 before the x. Alright, I know this is minus 2 and plus 1. Because minus 2 times 1 equals minus 2. And minus 2 plus 1 equals minus 1. So, or x minus 2 needs to be 0, or x plus 1 needs to be 0. So I can already see it. I can see, oh, that's 2, and oh, okay, that's minus 1. But if you do not see it, then please use the balance method again. And of course, what you do on the left, you need to do on the right as well. So you will get this. Right, so now you think, that's the answer. We found over here the intersection points. But that is not true. Because an intersection point, and they already tell you in the question, the coordinates of the points of intersection always have an x and a y coordinate. So we're searching for something like this. And the same with B, of course. Now we already know that it's minus 1 and that it's 2, the x. Well, what is the y? So if we're going to have a look at this question again, then we know that the x equals 2 or x equals minus 1. You're going to fill those x's into the formula that you already know. So I'm going to have a look at first at x equals 2. I want to know what y is. So I need to fill it in into this formula or into that one. It doesn't really matter because your answer is going to be the same. So y equals x plus 5. If I'm going to fill in x equals 2, I will get y equals 2 plus 5 equals 7. So I will get a 2.7. Remember, if we're going to fill in a coordinate, it was always x point y. Alright, so imagine that you wanted to fill it in into this formula. Then I would get 2 squared plus 3. 2 squared is 4 plus 3 equals 7. So it doesn't really matter which of the formulas you're going to use. Alright, then x equals minus 1. I think that this formula is the easiest one because it does not have a squared number or a squared letter in it. So that's why I'm going to use that one. So y equals x plus 5. If I'm going to fill in minus 1 for x, I will get y equals minus 1 plus 5 equals 4. So b equals minus 1.4. Alright, so what is the mistake? What is in here? And I did this deliberately. So think for yourself, pause it, because then I'm going to explain it to you. Alright, so the mistake that I made is that I did not look properly at the picture. I see that the A is over here and B, the intersection point, was over there. I would say, so y is equal to A and y is equal to B. Exactly. And to know if this is A or if this is B, you need to look in the picture. So you see that the A is on the negative side of the set of x's and the B is on the positive side. So it means that you really need to look very carefully, because this needs to be A and that needs to be B, because over here we've got a negative x and over there a positive one. So that's what I want to tell you. Always look at the pictures and then you know which letters or which names you need to use. Alright, a little bit of a summary. So first of all, always make an equation. Then you're going to make the right hand side 0 by using the balance method. Then of course you're going to solve the equation and you're going to use the balance method or the product sum method. And with balance method I of course mean the common factor. If you did that, you're going to calculate y, and you can calculate y by filling in your x into one of the formulas to find y. It doesn't really matter which formula you're going to use. And afterwards you need to give the coordinates. So do not forget to write down your coordinates. First start with the x and then with the y. Alright, good luck. Practice this a lot and ask questions if you need help.